Let me talk about another. So one vital sign of relational health is real, not deal relationships. Another vital sign is this. I got this from David Brooks, who wrote a book, How to Really Know a Person. And it's this: if you want to develop relationships, illuminate, don't diminish. Okay? I'm going to read from, here's what he said in his book. The real act of building a friendship involves performing a series of small, concrete social actions well. Disagreeing without poisoning the relationship. Revealing vulnerability at the appropriate pace. Being a good listener. Knowing how to sit with someone who is suffering. These are what he calls the small, seem big to me, concrete social actions, and he calls that illumination versus and if we illuminate people with these series of small, concrete social actions, we will have real relationships.
Right.
So it's that difference between diminishing and illuminating. So when I read the book, right about the time I was reading the book, I had coffee with somebody. Here's how it went down, okay? Because I'm reading Brooks' book and I'm going, okay, that's what he's talking about. This is a diminisher. So I want to get to know this guy. So we had coffee and we sit there and he comes, sits down and I said, hey, tell me about yourself. So he's talking about him, telling me about himself, where he's from, his family, what he does. And he stopped talking. I sat there. Nothing. So I asked him another question. All right, so tell me, what, I forget, like, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do? And he told me and went into detail about what he likes to do.
Starting to see how these roles are starting to come out.
And I'm sitting there,
your line is
nothing. And then I ask him another question and he goes on and on and on and we stop. And you know what I'm looking for?
Right.
And tell me about you.
Right, reciprocity, right.
Nothing. But my favorite thing about, with air quotes, about that moment was we get done after my inquiry of him, hasn't asked me one question about me. He gets up to leave, walks over to the door, turns around and says, let's do this again sometime.
Sure thing. But
like, what? Wait, what?
Right.
How about no?
Right. How about hard no? But, that story, this is why people would rather be alone. How draining was that for you?
Oh, it was very draining.
And that was an hour of your time, hour and 30 minutes, and you had to drive there and back, and you just drove in the car, like feeling like what just happened.
Yeah. So that's what Brooks would call. That's a real illustration of a diminisher. Let me read you what he says. What Brooks says about diminishers. See if this makes sense. Okay. We can talk about these. He says diminishers are socially ignorant, meaning they're oblivious to the presence of others. Think about that. Oblivious. You're sitting with a dude across the table from you, and you're oblivious to his presence.
Right.
That's a diminisher, socially ignorant.
Sure.
This one hit me. A diminisher makes people feel small and unseen. They render other people as unimportant. Ooh. Man.
Yeah, we know quite a bit of those, don't we?
Well, yeah. And so, but let me put the shoe on my foot. What have I done? What am I doing to render people seen?
Right. Yeah.
So that when they walk away from me, they feel seen. I don't think you could offer anybody. What more could you offer a person that would make them more alive than to be seen?
Right.
Here's another. Brooks calls a diminisher is a topper. They dominate conversations and turn everything back to themselves. Oh, I can top that.
It's all about
so you
them.
tell them something about yourself, and their rejoinder or their reaction to you is something about them.
Right. At a higher level, a bigger, higher level.
Clearly at a higher level than mine, right?
Right.
Here's another thing. Their diminishers are socially naive. They think the way they view the world is the objective view.
Man, how errant is that?
Okay, so this is adding up, all right? Yeah. They're conceited.
Yeah.
I'm more interesting and important than other people. They're prejudiced. They're always generalizing, stereotyping people. And this one hit me. The diminishers are, this is like the secret, what's going on below the surface. They're always afraid.
Yeah.
They're worried what people think of them.
Man, confession. So as you were going through that list just now, I was thinking, and I prefaced and said that I was a survivor. Man, when you're in survival mode, you don't have emotional bandwidth to care, to see. So I'm wondering, as you were saying, I'm like, wow, how by accident, right? Not a conscious, I'm going to just be like this, but by virtue, I start to own it. Like, man, how have I presented to people? Because I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to get to the next step.
Exactly.
I'm just trying to live. I know you don't know that, but man, it makes them feel some kind of way, because my problem right now is the biggest thing and the most important thing that I have to solve at this moment.
Yeah, I don't think people become diminishers because they're just, I guess there are some people that are narcissists.
Sure.
They've got psychological imbalance. They're narcissistic. But I don't think the average person is a diminisher because they're narcissistic.
Right.
I think they're a diminisher because they're afraid.
I would even add, it's even a trauma response.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
The trauma
response.
response,
I, the trauma of being on my own since 14, Crimey River, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now I'm this way. Now I still have to take responsibility for that.
Yeah.
Right? I still have to be accountable to how I'm treating others and myself. But yeah, it's just a trauma response.
Yeah. Let me flip it. Let's get to the positive, because he describes an illuminator.
Okay.
Okay. And again, Brooks suggests if you want real relationships, the ones that, and by the way, let's go back to the Harvard study. If you want real relationships that are the source of your happiness, you have to be an illuminator. Starting with this, you have to always be curious about others. And I think being curious about others means you're, watch this, skilled in asking follow-up questions.
Right. Right.
You ask a person a question, and I've got a friend who taught me this. Jim, I hope you're watching or listening, Jim Henderson.
Oh, he's great. I love Jim.
Jim's a wonderful guy.
I love Jim.
But he says one of the key practices we need to practice is showing a level of curiosity that's over and above. Okay. Matter of fact, he says there's a key. He's taught me a key phrase that I think is important. If you're going to have a relationship with someone, say this: I'd be curious to know.
Oh yeah, it's perfect.
I'd be curious to know. At any rate, so you ask that question to somebody and they give you an answer. If you're an illuminator, you don't go on to you yet.
Right.
You ask a follow-up question.
Right. Right.
The average person is not skilled in follow-up questions. You want to get real skilled? Ask 2 follow-up questions.
Ooh, you're cooking with fire now.
You go down that road with a person. I guarantee you got a friend for life.
It's true. There's actually something out in social media floating around called, I think it's called the bird test.
What's that?
And it's simply saying, it's like you'll be with Penny or I'll be with Ashley, and you say, hey, I saw a bird. I saw a bird today. And the person's response, oh, I saw a bird too, would be a diminisher. Or, oh, you saw a bird? What color was it?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Or tell me how to make you feel.
Yeah,
or,
you saw, like, what kind of bird was it?
Yeah,
What,
yeah.
Like, so that, and they said that, and this was actually by, I wish I would have brought this to this conversation. It was a doctor, it's a study that he performed. And based on their responses, it tells you if you have a quality relationship with that individual or not.
Interesting.
And it's been floating around.
Yeah, so that's the whole
Same
point.
thing, yeah.
Asking follow-up questions. Here's another thing he says. This is related to it. When you will have good relationships if you learn how to pay attention to others with a posture of respect and dignity. Give people respect and dignity.
Right.
He said, you'll be an illuminator if you accept people as, oh, I love this. If you stop seeing people as a problem to solve.
Oh, man.
Come on.
Man.
Stop seeing people as a problem to solve.
Right. Wow.
Illuminator sees people as they are. Here's another thing. They're open-hearted, kind, genuine, warm, tender, obviously. And I love this. He said, illuminators are accompanists, meaning they see themselves in a humble, supportive role to the other people in their life. How can the phrase we say it in the church a lot, come alongside somebody.
Right.
Be an accompanist. And then the last thing I'll say is illuminators know how to use the I see in you. In other words, can I tell you what I see in you?
Yeah.
Even if it's something small. Or I love it when you do this. Or I so appreciate when you...
Right.
This is the beauty of an illuminator.
Man. And man, that starts at parents and children. And if you are a diminishing parent and you speak to your child that way, or vice versa, the type of adult you'll groom or grow will be that of a self-centered, narcissistic
Yep.
traded individual or someone that is selfless and giving and loving, that starts with just that. And I mean, we've had parents and we know parents, and there have been times even myself, I know I've not been illuminated anything of my child. It's quite the diminisher, right? And it just, that reading this and hearing that list is like, okay, here's how I can be better at being that, because I want to be a light.
Yeah.
I want to be a light.
So there's this altruistic part of us that we want to love other people and care for people, and we should. And it's the way our culture is going to change if we can learn to illuminate and not diminish, right?
Yeah, right.
But I'm going to be a broken record and say, and if you want real relationships with people who illuminate you,
You got to illuminate.
you got to illuminate.
There's the saying goes, you will get what you give.
That's right.
I mean, it's just like, so if you want something, if you want it back, you got to give it.
That's right.
And you got to give it first.
Yeah. I love what Brooks says. He says, when you're practicing illuminationism, I guess he made that word up.
Check Webster's. I love it.
When you're practicing illuminationism, you are offering a gaze that says, I want to get to know you and be known by you. And he said, it's a gaze that radiates respect.
Man.
When's the last time you sat across from somebody and looked in their face?
Right.
Offered a gaze that said, I want to know you and I want to be known by you.
Right.
That's a real
It
relationship.
goes back to what you said. I mean, we just want to be seen. We're all 8-year-old children stuck in adult bodies, right? We just want to play and be seen and be loved and be special. That's it. And man, how far off track have we gotten?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. I love this. I love this. So I got a question. I mean, we just went through a lot. We went through all the how we got here and how crappy it is, right, to be alone, and how the degradation of togetherness, all that. How do we become illuminators? What questions can we ask ourselves? What postures can we take? We know that love is not just a word, it's an action, as the doctor said, right? What can we do in our daily lives to start exercising some of this?
Well, one thing that somebody, I don't know who's told me this years ago, that I thought was really good. If we're going to learn to love people and illuminate them, we got to love them accurately, meaning not everybody wants to be loved the same way.
Right.
Or no, let me say it. Not everyone feels loved
Sure.
in the same way. There's the 5 love languages. See, some people know they're loved when they're touched. Some people know they're loved when you offer them words of encouragement. Some people know they're loved when you serve them in some way. Some people know they're loved or feel they're loved when you give them your time. And then there are people who respond to gifts.
Right.
So the 5 love languages. But the only way to be able to love somebody accurately with and to know that, okay, Dimitri, I'm just making this up.
Sure.
I'd be curious to know what your love language is, but if I know that Dimitri knows he's loved when you say words of affirmation to him, then I shouldn't be wasting my time bringing him gifts.
Right. That's right.
I should be finding ways to build him up with what I say, and vice versa. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And if I may, this is to the audience. Man, there's been a lot of confusion on the love languages. People read that book thinking, oh, I know my love language. It's for you to know how to love the other person in their love language. Just a footnote, guys. I think I've had some friction-laden conversations. I'm like, no, it's to help you understand how they want to receive it, right?
Yeah, and that can be uncomfortable.
Right.
This is an illuminator says, I know you want to be touched. That's not my deal, but I will touch you. I'll put my arm around you. I will. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
I will go out of my. I'll go out of my way to buy you the gift. I'll stop. I'll figure out what gift you want,
Right.
and I'll go do it, even though that's not me.
That's right.
So loving accurately means how does that person want to be loved, and loving them. Boy, if you want to get more sophisticated, I think one of my favorite personality tests, the Enneagram, and there are plenty of personality tests, but when you realize, I mean, one of the things that transformed my wife and I, when we first met each other, we thought we were just alike. Oh, we like the same things. We're just, And then we realized we went to a workshop where he introduced different personalities, and we looked at each other after the workshop. I'm like, who are you? We realized
who I thought I was.
we're completely different. Sure. And so I know that and I'm not great at this. I know that she's going to want to be loved in a specific way that maybe is not the way I want to be loved.
Sure.
So the idea is if we're going to be illuminators, we have to be, again, here's a broken record again. If I want real relationships, I got to give real relationships.
That's right.
If I want real love, I got to give real love. If I want friends, I got to be a friend. If I want somebody to be there when I'm hurting, I got to be there when they're hurting.
Yeah. Something you touched on, I think Dr. Brooks said, I think you just read it, was give critique. It was basically like give critique, not all at once.
Oh, right.
Don't criticize all at once. Man, don't give me a list of all the ways I'm being not good right now all at once, man. Spread it out. Give me a second. One item at a time. I only can fix one thing at a time.
And again, that's loving accurately.
But that's it starts with just those subtleties, though. I mean, if you can't figure out the best gift, you don't have an hour to go stop it, but you can just not critique all at once or make it, soften that critique. Yeah. Man, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
So I hope that anyone watching or listening realizes I got some work to do. I gotta become an illuminator.
So as a recap, so the questions to ask oneself are, hey, am I a diminisher or an illuminator, since we kind of have identified those? 2, inside of, and after you pick that, it's like, okay, what can I do to present the antidote? If I'm a diminisher, how can I undo some of those? I think some of those you just mentioned are kind of just the Enneagram test or personality test is a great way. The 5 love languages is a great start. And again, for you to learn how to love the other person, how they want to be loved. And what Dr. Brooks said, just being patient, being kind, and just showing up.
Yeah,
it sounds like, right?
Absolutely.